Hello, this is Mr. Toups, and we're working on pre-algebra worksheet number 11. We're going to learn how to combine algebraic expressions with two variables today. So we have two examples. I'm going to show you how to do the examples, and we'll do another couple of problems like we usually do. Okay, on the first problem here, we have x's, constants, x's, y's, a constant and a y. So technically, if you were to draw this, the y's would be rectangles, but they would be shorter. We're not going to draw these, okay? You've drawn enough. But you should know that you can't add an x to a y and you can't add an x to a number because they're not the same shape or the same size. You got to combine your like terms. So what we do is we underline the smallest letter first. So we have two x's, that gets single underline. The y's will get double underline. And lastly, your constants will be the last thing you underline. Those will be triple underline. Then we're going to go through it and group your single underlines, double underlines, and triple underlines. So our two single underlines are 4 and 2. If we were to draw these would be open and these would be open, wouldn't they? They're all open, so we're going to have a positive. We're going to add. A 4 and 2 adds up to 6, and our letter is x. We just got sign, number, letter. You do that over and over. Now then, let's go to our y's. Our double underlines are here and here. We have more 8's than we do 3's, so my sign in front of the 8's plus, I'm going to drop it. The 3's are shaded and the 8's are open. We won't add, we'll subtract, won't we? So you take the small away from the big, 3 away from 8's 5, and our variable or letter is y. You just wrote down sign, number, letter. That's all you're doing. Then lastly, look at the constants, your triple underlines of 7 and 5, right? You have more 7's than you do 5's, and what's in front of the 7's? It's a minus, so the minus drops. The 5's shaded and the 7's shaded. They're all shaded squares, right? You would have 12 shaded squares. So the answer would be 6x plus 5y minus 12. Let's go to the next example. Remember, we're going to single underline our x's. We're going to double underline our y's, and we're going to triple underline our constants. Now we're going to go through and group the single underlines, the double underlines, and the triples. So our two single underlines are 7 and 4. We have more 7's than we do 4's, so the sign's going to be positive. We're going to take 4 away from 7 because these are shaded and these are open. 4 away from 7's 3, and our variable's x, sign, number, letter. Now then we're going to go to our y's. We got the 5, and this right here would be understood to be a 1, right? There's no number in front of the letter. There's a 1. You have more 5's than you do 1's, so you drop the negative. Remember, get the sign first. The 5 shaded and the 1 shaded, didn't they? Since they're all shaded, we would add them up. 5 and 1 add up to 6, and our letter is y. Sign, number, letter. Sign, number, letter, over and over. That's all algebra is. Now then we're going to group our constants, which are 10 and 8's. We have more 10's than we do 8's. The sign in front of the 10 is plus. The 8 is shaded and the 10's open, so we won't add, we'll subtract. And remember, you take the small away from the big. So 8 away from 10 is 2. So our final answer would be 3x minus 6y plus 2. Let's go down here. I'll do number 3 and 6 with you. So on number 3, we're going to single underline our x's. We're going to double underline our y's, and we're going to triple underline the constants. Now then we're going to start grouping. We have 7x and 2x, don't we? We have more 7's than we do 2's, so the sign in front of the 7's minus. Now I got to figure out if I add or subtract. The 7 shaded and the 2 shaded, I'm going to add them up. 7 and 2 add up to 9, and my letter's x. I just wrote down sign, number, letter. Going to repeat the process with the y's, our double underlines, right? We have 5 and 8. We have more 8's than we do 5's, so what's in front of the 8's a minus, so drop the minus. The 5's open and the 8's shaded, so we're going to take the small away from the big. 5 away from 8 is 3, and our variable or letter is y. What did we just write down? Sign, number, letter. And then we're going to do our triple underlines, right? The 5 and the 3 are our triple underlines. We have more 5's than we do 3's, so the 5 is going to be open or plus. The 3 shaded, the 5's open, we would scratch out, wouldn't we? We would take 3 away from 5 and we would be left with 2. So negative 9x minus 3y plus 2 would be our answer. And lastly, we'll do number 6 together. You can do the rest on your own. Single underline the X's, double underline the Y's, and triple underline the constants. Okay, so our two single underlines are here and here. We have more 9s than we do 2s. The 9's positive, so we're going to leave it positive. The 2 is open, the 9's open, so we're going to add them up. 2 and 9 add up to 11, and our letter is X. Sign, number, letter. Then we'll go to our Y's. 3 and 5 are our Y's. We have more 5s than we do 3s. What's in front of the 5? The minus drops. Get the sign first. The 3 is shaded, the 5 is shaded, so we're going to add them up, right? 3 shaded rectangles and 5 shaded rectangles would be 8 shaded rectangles. Then Y. Sign, number, letter. And then lastly, we're going to group our 7 and 8s. We have more 8s than we do 7s, and the 8's positive, so put down a plus. The 8's positive and the 7's positive, so we're going to add them up. 8 and 7 adds up to 15. So basically, you're adding and subtracting three numbers together, and you're grouping them out, and you always want your smallest letter first and your constant last. So you'll answer all these like this. You're going to do good, and remember to always believe